Marcia Vodenhal. My business is The Country Neighbor, located 1/2 mile south of Fort Hartsuff, near Burwell and Ord. My business is the sweet onion dressing. I started off with sweet onion dressing, and we have another product called ranch sweet onion dressing. I had tasted a similar product years and years and years ago and really loved it, and kind of tried to make up my own recipe and found one in an antique cookbook but kind of tweaked it, and that's kind of how the recipe started. Testing it out on customers was probably my biggest priority, because they would either give me thumbs up or thumbs down, and they were wanting to buy pint jars of salad dressing. So, not being shelf stable, I would sell them a pint jar of salad dressing and say, go home and refrigerate this immediately. And that's how my product got going. The internet has been wonderful for my salad dressing, because I can look up grocery stores, locations, addresses, telephone numbers, whatever, and then contact the manager of each store, as well as I have used Facebook. And so I have my own Facebook page for the sweet onion dressing, and my own website, countrysweetonion.com. I've had orders from as far away as Utah. And the internet's just been a lifeline for my sweet onion dressing business. The website was a little bit more detailed, of course, with names and addresses of grocery stores where the product can be found, as well as recipes, and but it only took 3 days, you know, of this particular person working on the website design. Facebook was a matter of an afternoon. It was very simple. My greatest success story is, gosh, it's just such a joy to go back in the store and they have one bottle on the shelf. And I don't know if there's any one single success story, because all 147 stores are a success story for me. It's just so cool to go in a grocery store and give them the whole little marketing spiel about, here's my sweet onion dressing, and I think this would work wonderful on your shelf, and sure, we'll try a case. No, give us 2. And I guess the success is just the customers are happy, and they're buying it, and they're buying it again, and they're telling their family and their friends, and I don't know if there's any one single success story. The university did pick us, the sweet onion dressing, as their success story for last year, so I was very pleased about that. With the food processing center, I worked with Jill Gifford, and Jill notified me in January and said we chose Country Sweet Onion as our success story for last year, for the year 2010. And I couldn't have been happier. It was neat. But we worked hard to get it going, and it's been in production for just a year and 1 week. Right. The Food Processing Center is a wonderful tool for businesses to get started. It gives you the knowledge of how to go into a business and visit with a grocery store manager or a gift shop manager. And she helped me with the nutrition facts, the labeling, the product itself, just packaging. Jill was wonderful, and her team. It's very important to brand your product. With the Country Neighbor on the label, I put a logo of our country schoolhouse, because I knew that we serve about 40,000 people here every year. And if they've come to the Country Neighbor, they've tried sweet onion dressing, I'm sure. And so by having that schoolhouse logo on the label, it kind of told people, oh, here's that little or that dressing that we tried at that schoolhouse by Fort Hartsuff. So it's very important. The UPC code's very important, because every grocery store requires one now. And you know, I suppose you could do a product and not have a UPC code if you just did farmers markets and craft fairs and stuff like that. But if you're gonna go into corporate, like the B&R stores in Lincoln or Omaha, which is Russ's Market, Super Savers, Apple Markets, all the Hy-Vees. And a lot of the affiliated food stores, they require UPC codes. And it's just a professional thing that makes your product say, I'm here to stay. As far as marketing a food product online, it's kind of difficult, but you can romance the product by describing how it tastes and what it's great on: fish, chicken, pork and beef, broccoli salads, pasta salads, etc. But also online, I do post that I'm going to be doing a tasting at Hy-Vee, for instance, in Grand Island during the state fair, or I'm going to be at Music and Mayhem Festival Saturday in Cedar Rapids. And so if people are really interested in tasting, then they might come to these events. The keywords for the website were just basically salad dressing or onion salad dressing, and that especially onion salad dressing brought our name up there in first position. It's difficult because, you know, what you think is keywords isn't always what the consumer thinks. But I do have a really good website designer, and she's very well rehearsed on what needs to be up front, and so it's the front runner. Online marketing strategy, probably my worst enemy is freight. It's expensive for the consumer to buy products online because to mail my products is 2 bottles is $6. Well, the bottle itself is only $4. So they've really got to want my product in order to pay $6 freight for 2 bottles. So, but there's no way around it. That's just the way it is. The consumer expects being online, and they expect to see your product online. If you're going to be with the big dogs, you have to run with the big dogs, and unfortunately you have to shell out a little bit of money in the beginning, but it'll pay off in the end. The future changes, I would like to figure out how to distribute my product more efficiently instead of me driving all over the state of Nebraska and Iowa and delivering myself. But it's giving me an opportunity to meet a lot of grocery store managers and have that eye-to-eye contact where they know that I'm here to stay. I think if I have a broker, they don't always romance your product and sell your product, but I can tell this grocery store manager that this is a tried and proven product that I've served in my restaurant for 16 years. And I've sold thousands of bottles in pint-sized canning jars. So their presence online, I would tell them to please be sure and have enough capital before you start a product venture. You're not going to get rich quick. You're not going to get rich, maybe, period, at all. But they better expect 2 to 3 years of not a whole lot of pay. Unfortunately, you're competing with a lot of other products. There's a whole vast array of other salad dressings or other barbecue sauces or jellies or jams or salsas, and your product has to stand up to the big boys. And I guess I would just tell them that be patient, because if you're so-called in love with your product and believe in your product, it will succeed. But you've got to convince the consumer that.